Welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in my swing studio, and today's video is all going to be about the left arm. Should we keep it straight in the backswing? Does it matter if it has a little bit of a bend in there? Stay tuned to find out more. So does the lead arm need to stay straight in your backswing? So for me as a right-handed golfer, my lead arm is my left arm. Does that need to stay straight? What difference does it make if it does bend? Am I able to keep it straight? It's just a few questions that I wanted answering, or some of my viewers wanted answering, that I thought would make quite a good video and potentially be useful for you at home. If there are any subjects you'd like me to film videos on, it's a great way to get in touch. Either post some comments below this one, or all our social medias coming along the bottom of the screen for the TruGolf Academy. Get in touch with whatever method works for you. It's a good platform. So lead arm, you see golfers, I mean, now Jordan Spieth, of course, who has a slightly bent lead arm at the top of the backswing. It varies depending on the flexibility of the golfer. I get a lot of players, a lot of male golfers who are very tight in their shoulder blades, their upper spine, and they'll struggle to keep their left arm from breaking a little bit. So because of tightness here, we'll see a little bit of bend. Myself, I definitely have a little bit of bend in there. I've always blamed it on the fact I broke my left arm as a kid, but you know what? I actually don't know if that's got any relevance to it. But in my golf swing, I definitely have a slight bend in there, and I think it's absolutely fine to have a little bend in this lead arm, but it'd be very different to something like this. So I think we can get away with, our arm doesn't need to be dead straight. We do want width, of course we do, but there's fine. What I don't want to start to see is if these hands get very close to your trail shoulder here and more of a collapsing movement, because if we do start to break too much and really lose that width, we will tend to throw the club away from us on the downswing, so we lose the width here, we gain the width on the downswing, and it starts to mean we actually go narrow to wide. We want it more the other way, so we want a wider backswing and a narrower downswing as we hold the angle in our lead wrist. So I've done a video on that before, talking about wide, narrow, wide that we'd really be looking for. So I don't believe your lead arm has to be dead straight, but there is a difference between a slight bend at the elbow and the arms collapsing inwards towards your body. So it doesn't seem to cause Jordan Spieth too much of a problem having a little bend in there, but as I said, you wouldn't see him in this position where his arms are getting really close to his body. If it is something you struggle with, there may be a few reasons behind it. So often golfers overturn early in their swing, so the club tends to work too much around their body. They overturn, they've almost made a full shoulder turn, yet they've only made sort of half a backswing in terms of where their hands get to, and then they lift to the top of the backswing. It can be a number of reasons causing that, but I want to give you, I guess, a simple drill that could work on your left arm being a little bit wider at the top of the backswing, not necessarily stretched and tight, but a little bit wider. So I would just do a freezer. I'd stop at the top and then hit from there. So the other reason I guess I tend to see people collapsing those arms is when we see really quick, fast takeaways and rhythms in the backswing, and the momentum just takes them on and on, so they struggle. So maybe just trying to do some ways, stop at the top and hit from that position. The one other thing I just wanted to mention with trying to keep that arm straight, I would much prefer to see a little bend in there if it meant that we can keep quite a relaxed grip pressure and not too much tension here in my shoulder. If you try and get really extended and that means you're gripping like hell and really feeling a pull here, then something's amiss. We don't want to compromise grip tension and pressure by trying to keep our arms extended away from us. So I like having width at the top of the backswing, but I definitely don't want tight, tense muscles. So what I'm going to do is just click on the keyboard so you guys can see the ball flight. I'm just going to go ahead and actually stop at the top and hit from there, so we can really again sequence our downswing correctly. Let's give it a whirl. That felt really solid. And do you know what? Has it lost me any distance? No, that's a 6-iron that's flown 170 to finish about 180, 87 miles an hour. And that was from a pause position at the top of the backswing. Of course, we see someone like Matsuyama, who allows that, that real pause at the top of the backswing, you know, and sequences his downswing fine. So it's not a bad exercise, it's not a bad drill. That little pause at the top of the backswing, just to make sure that we haven't collapsed our arms into our body. So width is good in the backswing because we do want wide, narrow, wide, but we don't want to try and create width and create a lot of tension as well. So it's fine to get a little bit bend in there, very different to arms touching my shoulder and then losing all that position on the way down. If it is something you struggle with, then that little pause at the top could really help you start to feel that extra bit of width and then the sequence of the downswing correctly also. If that video did help, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to show your interest in the channel, receive notification that there's 3 new videos a week every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.